Clear to close ASAP.
Good morning, everybody. This is Aaron Schaefer coming at you from the capital of spring training baseball, Phoenix, Arizona, home of the Cubs. Not Wrigley Field, but Wrigley Field's stepmom, Sloan Park. Today, I want to talk about why I think housing is not going to crash. Let's talk about the elephant in the room right off the bat. Aaron, you're only saying that housing isn't going to crash because it's in your best interest to sell me a mortgage. You have real estate partners who are trying to sell homes and you're trying to help them out, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. Let's get that out on the table. Is that a possibility? Yeah, it's a possibility that that's what I'm trying to do. But there's a reason why I'm talking about the benefits of housing as opposed to the benefits of getting a colonoscopy or the benefits of going to the dentist every 6 months, because I'm in the mortgage business. If I was in the dental business, I'd be talking about you need to get a checkup every 6 months. Doesn't mean it's not true. So let's talk about what really is going on in the housing market right now. You have two things at play, as you always do in markets. You have fear and you have desire. What's your fear? Your fear is that I'm buying the house at the wrong time. Your fear is I'm going to buy a house at $450,000 or $550,000, and then 6 months later, or 12 months later, or 2 years later, it's going to be worth less. And then, I didn't buy it at the right time. Well, let me ask you this. When is the last time that you bought a stock at the very bottom? When you were trying to time the market, were you able to do that? But if you held on to that stock long enough, were you happy that at least you bought it on the dip? And then after a while, it finally went up, as opposed to buying it on the way up. Now, it makes everybody feel really good when they buy something on the way up, because then it goes up the next month and it goes up the next month and it goes up the next month, but you don't know how close you are to that temporary peak to where, oh no, I bought it here and it went up a little bit and now it's going down. Well, you still, quote, lost money. You still, quote, didn't buy it at the bottom. But again, is buying a house the same as buying a stock or a mutual fund? Or is it your home? What is this thing that you're buying? You hear all the time, you marry the house and you date the rate. What does that mean? It means that you're buying the house for the fact that you love it and the fact that it's good for your family and it's in an area that you wanted to live in. And it's got all these things that you like about it. That's why you bought this house, because it's a good environment for your family. But you don't care about your interest rate in that same way, right? You get your interest rate at 6.5 or 6.25, or maybe you got it in the 7s. So you have no problem getting rid of that interest rate. Now, you have a problem getting rid of your house, but you have no problem refinancing and getting rid of that interest rate. But if you hang on to your house long enough, you're going to be glad you bought your house when you did. Is today the bottom of the market? I don't know. Maybe yesterday was the bottom of the market and the housing is starting to come back up today. Maybe it's 6 months away. Maybe it's 12 months away. But I can tell you that what caused the 2008 crash, 2007, 2008 crash in housing, that kind of stuff isn't going on right now. It's just plain and simple not going on right now. There isn't tons of fraud in the mortgage industry. There isn't all of these interest-only loans, negative amortization loans, liar loans where people are getting approved with no income verification. That stuff they got rid of that stuff. All that stuff that made the market go nuts before. And it didn't just cause people to get approved easily for loans. It was a get-rich-quick scheme where people were buying 3, 4, 5, 6 investment properties. And then what do you do when the market starts to tank? You just dump all your investment properties because you don't live in them. You just, okay, I'm just going to foreclose on all these investment properties. But I'm not going to foreclose on my house. I'm going to foreclose on all my investment properties. And so that floods the market with homes. And now the supply is so much greater than the demand, and housing just goes way down for a long period of time. That's not what's happening right now. This is an interest rate driven pullback in housing. That's what this is. So people saying that this is going to be worse than 2008, they're just trying to get ratings. They're just trying to sell you on an idea. If you want to move into a home and you can afford it, buy the home. You're going to be happy that you bought the home. Period. End of story. What are you paying in rent right now? Are you paying $2,500 in the Phoenix area? Are you paying $3,000 in the Phoenix area? What's your mortgage payment going to be compared to that? You say, well, it's going to be comparable, or it might be a couple $100 more, but I can afford that. Okay, then get the house. You're dating the rate. Refinance it later. If you believe rates are going down, I had a friend tell me that he's waiting to buy his house because he's waiting for rates to go down. I said, okay, what if they don't go down? What if housing recovers tomorrow and starts to go back up and rates stay the same? If you really think rates are going to go down, or if you think there's a good chance, but you can afford the house, buy the house and refinance it 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, whenever you think rates are going to bottom out. But unfortunately, none of us have crystal balls. None of us know what's going to happen. So we need to stop pretending like we know what's going to happen. And if you can afford that house, it's time to buy that house.